Hi, everyone. Welcome to the Power of Connection. My name is Esther. I'm a transformational speaker on a mission to guide more people to find their authentic connections in this age of disconnection. And today, first of all, I want to say thank you for the city of Monash, the city of Whitehorse, Manningham, Maroondah, Knox, Barandara, city of Kingston, and the Yarra Range for giving me this opportunity to present this event. But most importantly, I want to thank you, the audience, for tuning in and willing to walk on journey with me together for the next hour. So before we start, I'd like to give you 3 simple tips to help you maximize your experience of this event. First of all, please download your workbook included in your registered emails before you continue this video. And the workbook includes all the details of each activity of this event. Secondly, there are time allowed for activities in this recording. However, if you do require more time, you can pause the video at any time. Lastly, I would really encourage you to complete the homework in this workbook to further enhance the effect of this event. So here, let's start. First of all, let's do some fun exercises together. Today, I have 4 fruits for you to choose. But before we start, I first want you to take a couple of breaths and just be relaxed and slowly check in with you how you are feeling right now. And then turn to the page 2 of the workbook, and you will find 4 fruits we are offering today. So we have red apples, anger; green pear, hopeful, content; yellow mango, worried; and lastly, our blueberries, peaceful, relaxed. So please don't choose your fruit based on your personal preference or its nutrition value. Choose the fruit based on your emotions. And next, I want you to write down the color of the fruit you have chosen in the workbook. Now I'm going to give you 30 seconds to complete this task. The main purpose of this exercise is actually I want you to remember the color of the fruit, and I'll explain you why later. Next, let's begin our journey together. 4 years ago, in the midst of my crisis, I was handed over a book called The Hero with 1,000 Faces, written by the leading mythologist, Joseph Campbell. Joseph studied and compared all the mythic stories around the world. And he found out that through thousands of hero stories from all different cultures, there's just this one story, which he called the hero's journey. And there are 3 basic parts of the hero's journey: separation, initiation, and return. Separation. When you fall into a crisis and you are separated from the comfortable life you lived before. Initiation. You get a call for adventure and you are taking on a journey that you have never traveled before. Return. You come back and share your stories. So today, I'm going to tell you my stories. And it all started from hundreds of years ago. In China, there was a temple called the Temple of Golden Buddha. There was this large statue of golden Buddha standing at the back of the temple. The army from the neighboring country was about to invade, and the monks from the monastery came up with this brilliant idea to cover the Buddha with mud and concrete, basically make it look like a stone Buddha. Soon after that, the army came and saw nothing but this big stone Buddha. They left. Years went by when there was a time that no one in the village ever remembered the Buddha was golden. Until one day, there was a young monk sitting meditating at his knee. As he got up, he slipped and knocked off a piece of concrete from the Buddha. And he saw something shiny. He realized it was gold. So he ran to his fellow monks and yelled, "The Buddha is golden! The Buddha is golden!" They all came out and realized he was telling the truth. They took the hammers and tools. Eventually, it was the golden Buddha. Like that statue, we are all born golden by nature. But as we grow up, we are told to follow certain rules and do certain things. We start to develop a layer of stone over ourselves. Even at a very young age, we start to believe we are the stone Buddha or the golden one. Then something comes along in our life that cracks our casing. Maybe it's an illness, a divorce, a financial setback. Something really scares us and knocks our piece of armor. And until that happens, we get to see the gold within. And let me tell you, my friend, the moment when you see the gold, the stone will never satisfy you again. From that onwards, you are truly embarking on your hero's journey. Separation. For most of my life, I was that stone Buddha. As a single child growing up in a traditional Chinese family, the last thing I wanted to do is to disappoint my parents. I did tick off most of my parents' bucket list though. Graduate from the top university in China, having a successful engineering career, moving to Australia, and living a good life. And I also start to create this perfect yet fake image of a happy, successful Esther, always strong, always positive, hardly cry, don't show emotions. But it did take a lot of effort to maintain that zone. So I kept pushing really hard. Stress, a lot of stress. May 2016. Finally, I received a paycheck for Mr. Stress. I was diagnosed with non-Hodgkin lymphoma, a type of blood cancer. I was 34 at the time. Life ahead suddenly shattered. I started hearing those voices. You are too young to have cancer. Get well soon, kid. You are the only child. Your parents need you. I failed my parents. I was very pessimistic. To make it worse, my parents decided to hide my cancer news from all our family members, relatives, friends back home due to some limiting cultural beliefs around cancer. So gradually, I lost all my connections with home. I was isolated, depressed, and even more fearful. I did think about going out, looking for help, but I wasn't strong enough to break that perfect image of a happy Esther I've created before. So I retreated back into my shell. March 2017. Fortunately, after 10 months of hard battle with cancer, I finally won. Go back to your normal life, Esther. The last words from oncologist. I was so excited. Finally, I can go back to my normal life. I was wrong. The hardest part of my journey, in fact, started when the cancer was gone. I went back to my sales job, but its fast pace no longer served my body. After work, I was completely exhausted. I walked into my house. It was quiet. Mom had gone back to China. The night became longer. The phone hadn't rung for days. And friends had stopped asking, "Are you okay? What can I do for you?" And all this chemo totally racked up my body, giving me this never-ending cold and flu. I could no longer commit and enjoy my weekend gatherings with friends. So I also started losing friends. Some felt too overwhelmed to talk about cancer with me, and others, I was too ashamed to be seen as a victim, burden. And when everyone think I should feel happy now, but I was in fact completely stuck and lost in the storms of emotions. The fear of relapse, the unprocessed grief, and demons of PTSD. I was too scared to express anything but relief and joy. I was too scared to let people know, so I decided to hide all these emotions of fear, worry, confusion, and loneliness that people don't see, and only leave to myself to absorb and digest. Finally, all these suppressed emotions built up to that bursting point on that terrible morning of August 2017. My dear friend, who suffered like I did, passed away from cancer. I was crying every day for weeks. I was literally collapsing, and I was in a total mess. Esther, you have got depression. It was so painful to hear that word from the doctor. That happy, successful Esther, that model kid, no longer existed. Now, she not only had physical problems, but also emotional issues. And this was the darkest time in my life. Initiation. On most days, I woke up sad and lost. But some days, I would ask myself, if I survive, it got to be something. It got to be more than what I lived for. And my life has to be more meaningful. January 2018, I gathered my last courage. I left everything behind. I started embarking on a 2-year journey, searching for the meaning of my life. My first stop was a cancer hospital in Mexico, where I received 8 weeks of emotional energy healing. I also met Linda, my practitioner at the time, who is now also my spiritual teacher. In each session, Linda would ask me to put my hand on my heart and say to myself, I accept myself unconditionally. I love myself unconditionally. Every time When I say this, I would burst into tears. For the past 30 years, I've been trying so hard to make everyone happy. I always put others' needs in front of mine because that is my value and this is how I'm growing up with. At the end, I'm the one who I owe the most. And I'm the one who I need to please and love the most. And at that moment, for the first time in my life, I felt this strong love towards myself. With the help of Linda, I start to cry. I start to show emotions. I allow myself to be sad, to be angry, and to be not okay. Because I choose to accept myself unconditionally. I choose to love myself unconditionally. One day, I suddenly broke down. I asked Linda why I had to go through all those pains when my other friends seemed happy on social media. She said, the God, the universe, will never waste his investment on people, even if it's the pain. Esther, every challenge you are going through right now will be the stepping stone towards your greatness. And one day, you will help many people with your painful experience. My 8 weeks of emotional healing with Linda was just the beginning. It was the turning point that I finally started to connect with myself. With every tear I cried, every emotional release, I start to break through the stone covering my inner golden Buddha. So today, around this subject of connecting with ourselves, I want to specifically talking about loneliness. So why do we feel lonely? Because as human beings, we are very aware of our unique personalities, desires, strengths, or even weakness different from others. And this sense of awareness at the same time also brings us a sense of loneliness. And on the other hand, we are social animals. We are craving for stronger and deeper connections with others. A connection that involves emotional exchange through interaction. Let me repeat again. A connection involves emotional exchange. When we can't feel this emotional exchange, we will feel lonely. But when we feel lonely, some of us, we tend to go to some crowded places like pubs or bars to get really high. And some may look for new love to comfort ourselves. But the truth is that this temporary stimulus of excitement, even love hormones, can't solve our root problems of loneliness. That's why after we finish the party, we can still feel lonely or empty, or even when we're in a love relationship. So you may ask, what kind of relationship we won't feel lonely? That's when we are truly cherished by someone who really understands us, who's willing to listen to us and be there for us in the good or bad. But most importantly, who accepts us for who we are and gives us the freedom to be who we are without needing to change or control us. As you can see, it is really about the quality of a relationship, but not how many people we are surrounded with. So how can we truly walk out of our loneliness then? You may say, meeting with others, connecting with others. That's absolutely right. But to me, the first step and also the most important step is actually connecting with ourselves and to be comfortable to be our own company and be alone. The reality is most of us, we constantly avoiding being alone, even though we have to stay with someone we don't really like, as long as we're not by ourselves. So why we are so scared of being alone? Because when we are only with ourselves, like the current pandemic situation, we have no choice and have to face ourselves. And this is when all the suppressed emotions, feelings from the past start coming out. And this is when we start to see the ugly or dark sides of us. But this is exactly the turning point whether we can truly walk out of our loneliness or become further stuck. And the great news is we have the power to make this choice. If we continue to avoid and resisting being alone, being ourselves, then we are going to suffer more. But what if we start to accept them and investigate the underlying issues of those emotions and feelings and start to connecting and nurturing ourselves? I guarantee you all those unpleasant moments will soon pass and you will then be rewarded with finding your greatest treasure within you, your true self. Not until we can truly listen to ourselves, we can really listen to others. Not until we can truly accept ourselves, we can really accept others. Not until we can truly building connections with ourselves, we can then genuinely building connections with others. And this is how we can finally walk out of our loneliness. But it's all start from within, connecting with ourselves. So next, I'd like to invite you to do a little exercise with me. The exercise is called the heart message. And it contains 4 steps. And you can turn to page 3 for the details of those steps. So step number 1, I want you to think about a person in your life who is very influential. And that person could be in your past or still with you now. But also at the same time, the person really hurts you and making holes in your heart. And this person can be your parent, your partner, or your friends. Next, I want you to go back to a moment in the past when you were with that person. Think about the words you would desire that person would say to you at the time. Or even you are still craving for those words that person could say to you even till today. Think about those words. And then I want you to write down in step 3 of your words. Start from your first name and then your words. It could be something like, Esther, I'm so proud of you. This is something I would hope my mom could say to me when I was little, because she was always very critical. So your words could be just a couple of words or a sentence or even a paragraph. Now I'd like to give you 2 minutes to write down your words. Once again, if you do need longer time, or if you start feeling emotions coming out, please pause the video now. And it is very important to sit with your emotions right now and only get back to the video when you're feeling better. And doing some journaling will also help you after this event. So let's start feeling your words now. The last step of the harm message exercise is called the mirror work. And this will be our first homework today. And you can find the details at page 4 of the workbook. Most of us, we don't like seeing ourselves in the mirror because mirror is our judge. But the truth is, mirror doesn't judge. It is us. We judge ourselves. Mirror work is a very simple, effective technique that can help us release our judgment on ourselves and cultivate more self-love and acceptance. And this is how it works. For the next 7 days, I would like you to go to your bathroom or bedroom mirror first in the morning and take a couple breaths and be relaxed, and then looking into yourself. And this time, I want you to be really curious. So, what do you see in the mirror when you are not judging yourself? And what is it like to be me when you are not judging yourself? And then, the next step, I want you to put your hand on your heart and look into yourself in the mirror, and then start saying the words you have just written in step 3. And observing any thoughts or feelings coming up when you say those words. And I want you to write down and record all your thoughts and feelings on the 7-day mirror reflection diary from page 5 to 11. Finally, after you complete 7 days of mirror practice, on page 12, I would like you to write down a small action or a small change you'd like to make moving forward to bring more love towards yourself. The key for mirror work here is repetition, especially for the first 7 days. To repeat your affirmation and your words in front of your mirror as often as you can, because this is where we can start putting new programs or new beliefs into our subconscious mind. So do it as often as you can. You can find mirrors everywhere, in your house, in your car, even in your offices. Lastly, I want to say, it is totally okay when you feel confronting at the beginning, because what you are encountering first is actually the judgment you have for yourself. The process will become easier and easier when you let go more and more of your judgment. So let mirror become your friend. So this is the 4 steps of heart message exercises. It seems a bit long, but I really hope and encourage you to complete all the process, including the mirror work, because these exercises has literally changed my life. So instead of waiting for other people, that person, to say those words to us, to fill our holes, to love, to accept us, why not? We start to fill our own holes with the love we give to ourselves. Next, the exciting part, connecting with others. Today, I want to especially talk about how to connect with people who we don't really know in our community. First of all, I want to show you one of my favorite videos.
Good morning. Good morning.
Today we're doing free hugs to give people warmth and hugs.
And so far we've got 2 people.
We got 2 people.
Yeah.
So this is my friend Tess, and this is Nikki. So this morning we're being Ashburton doing free hugs for an hour.
Fantastic. Let's do this.
What's your message for the world today?
Keep a smile on your face and enjoy life.
Thank you so
Is that
much,
all right?
John. Yeah, give you a hug.
Oh, thank you.
What's your name?
Maria.
Maria?
Yes.
And Maria, do you want to give us a message today? Like
Well,
for
I
everyone?
think it was wonderful to say good morning and a big hug. That's make me like
Just giving a hug.
oh, that's
Oh,
beautiful.
that's
That makes all of us healthy.
Thank you.
Yes, and warm.
Said she's a hugger.
And we should have more hugs in Ashburn.
As you can see, one of my favorite ways to connect with strangers is to giving free hugs. So now I want to give you a big virtual hug. And I also would like to invite you to give yourself a hug and the people next to you. And this was actually inspired by my trip in Japan. November 2018, I arrived in Japan. But unlike many other trips, this time I took 36 of koala dolls with me. I decided to give all my koalas to those who have helped me along the way and to those who I was deeply connected to. I gave it to an old man when I couldn't find food in the middle of nowhere. And this old man, he packed me a big bag of sweet potatoes. He even filled up all my water bottles. I give it to a cafe owner when she told me she loved China, when most of her generation was still embracing the hurt and the hatred from the war. My 36 koalas indeed returned with many surprises. Handbags made from kimonos, a special paper fan carried by a geisha, paper cranes, handkerchiefs, of course, many yummy Japanese food. But it isn't just about giving and receiving in a materialistic way. Behind every koala, there's a story about humanity, about true human connection beyond any race, religion, gender, or color. And the common denominator is finding love, joy, and happiness. The kindness from the strangers has gradually filled up my empty tank. At the start of this trip, I only wanted to give. But at the end, I'm the one who received the most. Through connecting with strangers, I also get to know myself more. A joyful, courageous, and wholehearted Esther. I also learned a very important lesson through my 2 years travel. That is, helping others is also helping ourselves. And this is the connection strategy I'd like to share with everyone today. To help you build genuine connections with the people in your community. Helping others first without the expectation for return. This is the key. To me, it is also a win-win-win strategy. Helping others makes us feel good, and the people who are helped by us are grateful for our help. And then they want to pay it forward and spread the network. And this is how we can build a resilient, cooperative, and trustworthy community that allow us to go through any crisis like this pandemic and even thrive beyond the crisis. I believe building a socially inclusive and global community is the only solution for this global pandemic. Okay, let's have some fun again. So if you still remember the fruit we have chosen before, so we have red apples, yellow mango, green pear, and blueberries. Now, I want you to turn to the page 13 of your workbook to at least pick and commit one random act of kindness based on the color of the fruit you have chosen previously. And then I want you to write down your task you have chosen on the next page. Your detailed tasks I have included in step 2 and 3 for your for your homework. So now I'm going to give you 1 minute to go through those tasks with of your color and then write down your task. Please remember, helping others is also helping ourselves. Especially if you are feeling lonely or isolated right now, please reach out for help or find someone in your community or in your contact list who might feel the same way. Give him or her a call and offer your kindness to support each other, because that person understands how you feel. There's a time we help others. There's a time we need help from others. Giving and receiving, this is how life flows. Love and kindness, they are not luxuries, they are necessities. When we can hold the love and kindness towards ourselves with others, when we can finally walk out our loneliness and isolation. Return. The ultimate goal of a hero's journey is return, is giving back and sharing what we have learned through our journey so that we can inspire more people to make the same journey. I never thought I would become a speaker until that night on the stage for the first time, sharing my stories. After the event, many people came to me, including 5 or 6 cancer patients. Among them, a young girl with leukemia said to me, "Esther, everyone going through cancer has an amazing story. But not everyone would tell their story like what you just did tonight. Esther, you can become our voice." At that moment, I find my purpose. Since that day, I've been telling my stories whenever and wherever I can. I was asked to be that voice. I wanted to be that voice, and I am that voice. I want to tell people how my most painful experience has transformed my life, shaped my purpose. But I also want to invite more people to speak out their stories by sharing my journey. Because I believe this is when the true healing starts. Connecting with my purpose makes me even stronger during the pandemic because sharing my message is important. We can only know connection from a place of disconnection. This is my message to all of you today. I believe every one of us has a purpose on this earth. Connecting with our purpose gives a reason for keep going even the times are hard. Communicating with our purpose allows us to find other like-minded people whose purpose is similar to ours. And sharing our purpose helps others to also discover their purpose. There's no big or small purpose, and it's never too late to find one. So, what is your purpose? If you haven't found one, don't worry. Here on the page 15 of the workbook, I've shared with you 3 simple steps to guide you to discover your purpose based on Simon Sinek's approach. Due to the time constraints, I will leave it to you to complete all these steps at your own time after this end. You never know when you write down the answers of all these questions of those steps. There might be some clues to help you discover your purpose. So lastly, before we finish, I'd like to invite you to join me for our final gratitude meditation. So first, please comfortably sit on your chair, uncross your legs, and slowly close your eyes. And I want you to take a deep breath in and out. Another breath in and out. Now, I want you to put your left hand on your heart and slowly speak out the words you have just written during the heart message exercise. As you say them, sense the meaning of those words and feel the emotions coming up in your heart or in your body. What are you feeling right now? Warm or sad? Or any other emotions? If you're a bit teary, just let your tears flow as the healing rain. Next, allow yourself to remember and open up to your own goodness by bringing to your mind a time that you were kind and generous to yourself. Or a moment you had a good laugh and you felt happy. Or a precious time you spent with someone that made you feel loved and peaceful. Now, I want you to repeat the word after me with your hand still on your heart. So let's start. May I be filled with love and kindness. Held with love and kindness. May I realize love and kindness is my essence. May I be happy. May I accept myself just as I am. May I feel peaceful and safe. May my heart awaken and be free. Let us stay here for a little longer. Now I want you to visualize the golden Buddha sitting inside of you or any God you believe. Your golden self radiates beams of light through your body, brightening up the whole dark sky, expanding to the whole city, to the whole world. And bring your light and hope to this whole world. And I want you to feel this expansiveness and brightness within your body. Now, let us take another deep breath in and out. Last time. Breath in and out. Now, slowly you can open your eyes and keeping this love and kindness with you today. I hope you enjoy this event and find it some sort of helpful or inspirational. So before I let you go, I would like to do a final check-in and to see whether there's any chance your fruit choice has changed. If you do, please enter your new fruit choice at the page 16 of the workbook. And if you would like to continue to follow my journey or make connections with other people, you can find my contact details in the last page of this workbook. The purpose of walking on a hero's journey is not just about the glory or material reward you receive at the end. but rather when we look back, how much we have grown as a person. Separation, initiation, return. Disconnection, reconnection, connecting with ourselves, connecting with others, connecting with our purpose, our big why. And then finally, return, coming back to our community. I wish you all the best on your hero's journey. And if you're feeling lonely or isolated right now, knowing that you're already on your right path of your hero's journey, you already have all the skills required and this immense power within you, also the people around you to help you complete the circle. And you are never alone. And I wish you a happy, meaningful life made of genuine connections. The power of connection. Thank you. All right.